Yo, 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 yo. Anybody hear me? Give me 1 second. I'm going to announce this. Okay, so as we all know, guys, it's the day that President Trump speaks. Yo, what's up, Evan? Good morning, bro. Let me quickly post in the chat the stuff. Yo, what's up, Charlie? What's up, Warriors for Yeshua? Pepe, Evan, let's go. Everybody's in early. Love it. So obviously, guys, today's a Trump speaker. There's no news today, no red folder news, apart from Trump. But we are going to be super cautious, probably going to be taking things only unfunded and eval. I don't think I'll be taking a cash count trade. But we will see if anything really, really good presents itself. If it does, then I'll consider it. But you guys can see, like, pretty much right at market open, exactly when, on a Trump day, that's exactly when the market starts to go crazy. Okay, give me 1 second while I adjust this light. Okay. All right. Guys, also, if you're not following me on Twitter, on X, make sure you follow me. Okay, so let's go over to the weekly chart. Let's see what's going on here. Because as you guys know, and I've been calling these out forever, right? We have these perfect equal highs on NQ that I really do expect to hit. Now, are they going to do it cleanly? I don't know. And the thing that's a little bit funky is last week, guys, we never got the retracement into our 20 to 30% of the weekly candle. So I still want these. But what I'm going to do to reduce risk, because just in case this is a very bullish week, what they could do is just make, we could now like kind of extend it. Instead of it just being to the top of this weekly candle, we can bring it up to this one. But yeah, it's very interesting that we closed. So we haven't closed a day above this fair value gap yet. Okay. But my thinking is that we're probably going to see some delay before, like we might close above this today maybe and then get this dump later. But normally this TJF setup happens on a Monday if it doesn't happen on a Friday. So we'll have to see what we get here. I'm going to be cautious. Obviously, it's Trump is speaking today. But if something A+ occurs, I mean, I'm happy to take it. Interestingly, we did get a nice sweep here, okay? We did sweep the buy side here. Hold on 1 second. Where's the daily gap? Okay, let me change this to a gray gap. 1 second. So you can see we did sweep the liquidity up here, but then this liquidity was never swept. Now, let me check on ES to see if it was swept on ES. Was it formed from Asia? Okay, first of all, let me add all this stuff back. Sorry, guys. Yo, good morning, Easy Trades. What's up, bro? Yeah, so look at this. You guys see the SMT that occurred between ES and NQ right here? So ES has made a higher high. I'm going to label this as an SMT in a second. We'll label it as SMT. And then you can see, obviously, NQ has not swept that high, so it's made a lower high. So this is technically a bearish SMT. I would not be surprised if this ends up delivering us lower. And you can see here that it is actually delivering us quite low now. Is there anything A+ to take right now? No. Where was the fair value gap that we could have shorted? See, they're making it very tough in these markets. They're not giving people easy entries. The SMT that formed here closed below at 926, so right before market open, and we traded into a bullish gap. So would I take this? Personally, no. Even though it works and it looks really good because you're delivering cleanly all the way down, like this entry after delivering into this set of bullish fair value gaps on a higher time frame, it's like the 3 minute, I'm sure, or the 5 minute, there's probably something. Not the 5. There's a 4 minute gap right here. There's more bullish fair value gaps. So this is very tough to take, especially when it's right at market open. I never like to take things within like 10 to 15 minutes before market open and 10 to 15 minutes after market open. So you have to be super careful. But let's see if we can find anything as far as delivery of where we can go. Just going to delete some of this off my charts. By the way, guys, if you know of any equal lows below us, make sure you guys let me know. I'm going to look for them, but if I miss anything, it's important that other people, all the other OGs in the stream that know about equal lows, can point them out. That's something that a lot of people miss, and it ends up being the difference between a really good trade and not so good of a trade. There are perfect equal lows right here on NQ, it looks like. Let me just check. Low 22,232, low 22,232. So there is a set right here, and I like them because they're not just like right next to each other. There's actually a space between them. So this is something we could target. We have a new week opening gap below us. We have the daily fair value. Oh, shoot. Sorry, guys, we already hit those. Oh my goodness, wow, and we're reacting out of this bullish 1 minute, okay. Any other equal lows that I'm missing? No, not that I see, at least not in this leg of price. Nothing here. Yeah, no equal lows, guys. So, I mean, as far as equal lows are concerned, there's nothing. Let me view the hourly chart quick and see if there's anything I'm missing. So, to me, guys, this does look pretty bearish. I think we're probably going to end up heading to this low. Again, we'd have to wait to see if this hourly and this hourly get closed below. But we'll see what happens with that. And then the 20 to 30% retracement of the total movement of last week and this week is right here. So I think at minimum we're probably going to go back down to those, and we actually have some equal lows, it looks like, down here that I didn't extend out. Let me double check here. So it's the body of this candle to the wick, but I still like them, and we do have that data low right over here that we never hit. So my thinking, guys, is that these two levels are probably coming. It combines perfectly with the 20 to 30%. So I would not be surprised if we end up getting this. So I will move these lower or extend them out in time. Data low as well. Yeah, so we are close to all-time highs, guys, so it's very difficult to short, but I think at minimum we should get a retracement here before going higher. We're not at all-time highs yet, but once we okay, so here's another thing, guys. So once we sweep all-time highs, I'm not going to be looking for shorts anymore. Because most of the time when we hit all-time highs, we just keep going higher. It's very difficult to take shorts after we sweep all-time highs. Now, before all-time highs, you're right that we're probably still bullish up to them, but in the meantime, I do want to see some kind of a retracement lower, so if we get anything A+, I will take it. Yeah. Man, I got bad allergies. Has anybody taken a trade yet? What's everything else doing right now? Nvidia with a 2% pump. Nike. Oh, this is doing nicely for us right now. Tesla, look at this bull. Okay, so here's something I really like. On Tesla, we swept sell-side liquidity on the daily chart, or on the weekly chart. Everything here is a week. And you can see here we swept the weekly sell-side liquidity by 1 tick. We traded into a bullish daily fair value gap. It was like a volume imbalance. And we're having a huge bullish reaction. And we closed last week with a massive pin bar. So as far as Tesla is concerned, I think we're going to go up and most likely retest the high of this daily fair value gap or this weekly fair value gap and probably test this volume imbalance. So I'm thinking that the 400s or very high 300s are coming next. If you guys are looking for a swing trade, I would say that Tesla's probably a good candidate here. I would keep your stops tight. Again, I don't trade stocks personally. I only invest in them. But if you do trade stocks, I think Tesla's a good candidate to come back up and at minimum test the trend line, right, that we have here. So we're talking like probably somewhere in the high 370s, but I think at least the high 390s. So we'll see. Okay, Pepe, hell no, that stuff looks like the market is unsure where to go. Yeah, I mean, this is not good PA right now. We had just a big dump at market open. No entries for anything. Does not look good to me. We did close below this bullish 15-minute fair value gap and all these as well. Actually, not quite. You can see we haven't closed yet. So we could get a pin bar here to go back up. But nothing here looks A+ to me. There is an SMT. So if we can get a retracement into here, guys, let's just say we do on the 15. And then some kind of a bullish or maybe another SMT or a sweep of a high and then a 1-minute dump, I think that would be decent. But yeah, we'll have to see because right now nothing looks AA+ to me. But by the way, guys, I just got an alert actually that QQQ did hit all-time highs. So an SMT, guys, you got to do some research, okay? If you study ICT at all, SMT is one of the most important topics, but you look at the indices, so NQ and ES, and when one makes a lower high and one makes a higher high, like we do here, right? SMT, ES makes a higher high, and then NQ makes a lower high. That's an SMT, and it typically signifies reversals, especially if it's on the higher time frames. So yeah. Okay, so there's officially a 15-minute close below all these lows. Now the hourly still has two fair value gaps right here. So I'm going to label this an IFEG. I think this low is coming right now, guys. I mean, this closes in 15 minutes, so we're probably not going to get an entry. But I think this low is coming. And then I think the 20, 30, and 30, 20, 25, and 30 are probably coming. These data lows hopefully will sweep as well. So we'll see if that ends up happening. But again, there's nothing A+ here for me to take. When the SMT happened, we just got a massive dump right at market open. I can't take that personally. So, and you can see here, like there's nothing, right? What setup am I taking to get to these lows? Nothing. Maybe once we get these equal lows swept, we can look for a long setup. But yeah, I got a notification that QQQ did hit all-time highs, but NQ did not. That's very interesting. Normally, it's not uncorrelated. Normally, if QQQ makes a higher high, right? QQQ just swept all-time highs right here. If QQQ makes an all-time high, then NQ normally follows suit. But if we look at NQ on the daily, you can see we did not make all-time highs yet. And we're rejecting from this daily fair value gap that's holding right now. But I do like these shorts. I think that these shorts are going to work. Again, all the way down to the hourly low and then probably lower. I think that these are coming next. And with Trump speaking, I think that this move can happen really quick. So we'll see what we get. Oh, did we just create equal highs here? Okay, so we just created perfect equal highs right here. Very good. I like to see that. So eventually these are going to get swept. I don't know if they're going to get swept today. Maybe we get an A+ setup up to these. I'm not sure, but right now this is a very tough spot to be in. I mean, we could easily go lower first. We could sweep these highs first. But if we, for example, let's say we don't get a setup, okay, and we swept this hourly liquidity right here, and then we end up getting a setup back up to these equal highs, or let's just say that the market goes up without giving us a setup, and then we get a really nice short from between midnight and 8:30. This, for me, will be a really good spot to look for shorts. to come back down to these perfect equal lows here, and then the 20%, 25, and 30% of the current leg. But you guys can see this is the TGIF setup it's playing out right now. It looks like. So it looks like they're using Trump's rhetoric as an excuse to bring the market down to the 20, 25, and 30% of the whole leg of price. Yeah, so the golden pocket, I don't know if you guys ever use this, but if you, let's say like the market starts creating a highs here or making higher highs, the golden pocket is kind of like it's the retracement. It's the point, what is it again? The 0.618 and the 0.65. That to me is the golden pocket. So anything in here, maybe above, will be probably a good place to enter shorts, but we'll see what we get. So I'll delete those for now so you're not getting confused. Again, I don't really use that most of the time, but it's good to see like where the Fibonacci's are lined up to see if anything short-wise comes here. And you can see the perfect equal highs form, so the golden pocket was pretty much right at the equal highs. So normally that's a good place to start looking for shorts if you are bearish. And currently I'm looking for these two areas as my targets today. So now, ladies and gentlemen, we wait. Right? Just because these are close, right? I'm like, oh, these are probably going to hit. Just because it's close does not mean I'm going to FOMO into a trade. There is no model here that's presenting itself to me. I need to wait for something A+ in order to take a trade, okay? I can't describe to you guys how many times the market looks like it's going to do one thing, it ends up reversing, stopping everybody out, and then doing it later on. Learn to be patient. The market will always give you opportunities. And it's very, very good at making people click buttons when they're not supposed to. It is designed to induce FOMO in people. I'm telling you guys right now. So we sit and we wait. Who's feeling disciplined today and who's feeling FOMO-y? How are your brains today? Because that's a very important to stay in tune of how you're feeling on the day. Are you feeling patient? Are you feeling disciplined? Or are you feeling like you have the urge to make money? Because I can guarantee you that the days where you lose the most are the days where you wake up with a vengeance and that you want to make extra money and when you feel extra FOMO-y. Charlie says he'll wait. Good. I'm glad to hear that, Charlie. What about for everyone else in here? Did you wake up this morning feeling like you have patience and discipline, or did you wake up feeling like you want to make money and that you feel like you want to chase? Maybe you had a losing week last week and you have this urge to make money this week based on the fact that you lost last week. You want to make back everything that you lost. If you come into the week feeling like that, I'm telling you right now, guys, leave the charts. You're not ready. If that's the feeling that you have, you're not ready to click the button. Pepe It Up says, disciplined, worked the last day on my online business and chased enough money. And I chased enough? Pepe, you're chasing money on your online business? Or you're saying that you're chasing the grind? But props to you for working on your business. That's dope. That's what the weekends are for, bro. Hang out with friends that are worth hanging out with and spend the rest of the time building something. The grind, exactly, bro. If you're building an online business, you're probably not going to be making money for quite some time. Depends what the business is, but most of the time, guys, if you start an online business, you're probably not making money for at least a year, maybe 2. Just depends on the business, but... Okay, so pretty decent looking 3-minute IFEG here to the upside. If this ends up closing above, I don't think it's terrible to take. But right now, my bias is bearish. I think that these lows are going to get swept, so I'm going to be cautious about what I take. I think right now, to the upside, I'd only take something on a 5-minute. If we got a 5-minute close above an IFEG, I would only take that, but we'll have to see. And I need to see the 5 and the 3 close above. So for example here, right, we do have a beautiful looking 3-minute IFVG, but this could work, and then there could be something on the 5-minute that ends up failing. So we have to be super careful. We're also in a new week opening gap. So if we're bearish and we're trading below a new week opening gap, right, we disrespected this new week opening gap, I am much more hesitant to look for longs, because if we were bullish, we should use this to go higher. And the fact that we closed below it on the 5-minute, we have not closed below it on the 15-minute yet, but we've already closed on the 5. It just makes me a little bit more cautious. So we'll see what happens here. But I would love to see these get swept and then get something A+ from within here. Right, so again, if I draw that golden pocket, the golden pocket forms right above the equal highs. So maybe we get a short from within here. But anywhere like in this range from the 0.78 to the 0.618, this is a good area, in my opinion, to look for shorts. But we'll see. We shall see. So no close above the 3-minute yet, right? If you guys wanted to take something and this looked A+ to you, technically, guys, we did sweep hourly liquidity, right? And we do have a potential 3-minute IFVG. Now, do I think this is A+? Personally, no. But we do have equal highs right above that will probably hit. So if you want to risk this, you're welcome to. Again, there's no entry yet, right? We haven't closed above the 3-minute. This is still a bearish 3-minute fair value gap that will maybe be used to go lower. But we did sweep liquidity. I would give this maybe a 6.5 out of 10 if this ends up closing above. Will I be taking it? No. I'm looking for shorts. I want to see these get swept and maybe get some kind of an A+ short from here. So we'll see what we get. Pepe. So we could potentially see the market go up to the equal highs into the golden pocket and then reverse. Correct. That's what I'm thinking. If we don't get them, then maybe we'll get a setup up to them later. But yeah, we'll see. Because I can't really short this right now with these equal highs right above us. Because my thinking is that we're going to use these, trade into this bearish gap, and then reject. Yeah, potentially. Yeah, if we can get the data lows and the perfect equal lows to sweep, guys, I think that would be a pretty decent setup to target these equal highs. Maybe we can do that. We'll see. I want to keep looking at the a little bit higher time frame just to see. So nothing really good on the 5-minute here. Not even any fair value gaps. There's a tiny little 5-minute right here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's super small right here. Super small 5-minute gap. Let's see if they end up using this to reject the market. It's possible. Like if they come up, wick into this, and then go down. But yeah, nothing here is A+ in my view. I just want to see what some of these other gurus are saying. So I would not be surprised, guys, if they touch into this 5-minute FVG here. Again, it's tiny, but they sometimes will use these to rebalance price. Oh, I haven't even logged into Top Step today. Sorry, I'm on TradeStation. But yeah, I would love to hear what they have to say. Let's log into the Top Step. Let's see what they're saying.
2 minutes.
they in a long right now?
And they're looking at 46 versus 47. And what does that mean? Well, anything higher should be
Oh my
taken
God,
as
they're in a long.
positive bullish. Now, this is what rates the relative level of current and future single-family home sales.
Okay, I don't even know what they're saying right now.
Thank you, JD.
What are they long?
JD,
Very interesting. So that technically is a close above on the 3-minute. Okay, if you guys want to try this, I would move my stop to break even at this internal high right here. I'm not going to take this. It's not A plus enough for me because my bias is bearish, right? But I'll allow this to come up and sweep the equal highs, and then maybe we'll get a short afterwards. But I'm basically waiting on the hourly. I'd love to see this close below, and I think that if it does close below the hourly, then we should probably start dumping. We got 2 minutes until the hourly closes below, by the way, so that will give me my bias for today. Hold on 1 second, guys. Yo, what's up, Robert? Good morning, bro. Okay, so we got 1 minute left, guys, until the hourly close. If these hourly fair value gaps get closed below, that will signify to me that we're probably gonna, this is gonna be like a change in market structure, right? We're going from making higher highs all the time to now breaking below a high. So that's gonna signify to me that this could be a change in market structure. And at minimum, I want to target the 0.2, 0.25, and 0.3, the equal lows, the data lows. That's what I'm looking for today. Okay, let's see here. All right, so there's the hourly close, guys. So to me, this signifies that this is a change in market structure to me. And maybe we can trade back into the IFVG and then get a short setup. But something I'm looking for to get to these lows. That's what I'm looking for today. So you guys see how I'm using the higher time frame as this is a change in market structure, right? Higher highs, and now all of a sudden a big down close candle. I always teach you guys, if we get an IFEG, like on the 1 minute, if I saw this on the 1 minute, this would look really good to me to target this internal, all these internal lows right here, because everybody who's long the markets, right? Everybody who's been making money in this whole leg of price has their stop losses below this low right here. And the fact that we have perfect equal lows, we have data lows, and we have that 20, 0.2, 0.25, and 0.3 retracement right there of the TGIF. The fact that those are in line with it give me even more confidence that they're probably going to hit. Now, am I going to get a setup to it? I hope so. Oh man, so there actually is a setup here. But the problem is that we have our equal highs right here, so I don't really want to take this. Even though it's probably going to work. See, this is an area where I kind of get FOMO, to be honest. Because this looks really good, right? We closed below the fair value gap. But like, if we have equal highs right above us, we haven't traded into any of this leg of price. What do you guys want to try this with 1 NQ? It's probably not going to even give us an entry, so. See, this is just tough, guys, because one of my rules is not to short with equal highs above us. And, I mean, this could be a case where they just leave it, don't get me wrong, but I think that this is probably coming now. So if you guys want to chase with like a micro, by all means. I would move my stop to break even when this low hits, when the 0.2 hits, and then just hold it all the way down to the perfect equal lows. But not for me, unfortunately. Again, this was a decent IFEG, but the problem is that no liquidity was swept and we have perfect equal highs above. So that's why I didn't really like this personally. But I would not be surprised if this ends up working all the way down here. Yeah, so again, guys, my whole goal is to I love Top Step saying live to trade another day. Does this look really good? Yes, but it doesn't follow my rules entirely, so I can't take it personally. And even I, again, for for as long as I have been trading, I still experience FOMO sometimes. To me, because I know that this is a very high candidate area for the market to go, I want to take shorts, but again, there's been too many times, guys, where I take a short because it looks great. The market induces people, right? Its job is to create liquidity. So it's going to create setups that look really good, but then what ends up happening is they end up reversing and then it goes the opposite way. So you have to be super careful. And today's a Trump day speaking. There's no other red folder news. Yeah. By the way, after this, guys, wow. Have you guys seen the video of that plane crashing in Canada where it flipped over on its end? Also, Elon he released Grok 3, which I'm super excited for. If you guys use any like AI stuff, so I'm gonna watch that after all this trading is done for today. But crazy, bro. If you look on X, if you guys don't have an X account, go join X, guys. It's literally the best platform ever. Everything you can imagine, like anything you see on the news, it's unfiltered. I mean, listen, you have to be careful with what you watch, right? There's some gross shit on there too, but you can see like all kinds of really cool stuff, like the plane crashing in Canada, flipping on its side. All the passengers survived, which is crazy to me. But so yeah, this could be a turtle soup. Let's see what happens here. So I actually don't mind this. Okay, let me check the 5. If we end up closing above all these fair value gaps on the 1, I don't think this is a bad long back up to the equal highs. So it looks something like this, right? I'll take this with 1 NQ if we get it, because we swept liquidity to the downside. We came really close to the point 2, but we're reversing. So maybe they're trying to stop out traders one more time, take it above this high, and then get the short afterwards. So we'll see. Do, 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 do. I'm just looking at some other sell days. I just want to see if there's anything similar to what we're seeing right now. Okay, yeah, so if guys, if this ends up inversing to the upside, I don't think this is bad, okay? I will try this with 1 NQ. But I have a feeling we're probably going to leave these and then go lower, but we'll see. I think this is, my guess, guys, is that we're coming back up to this high to stop out some shorts, and then maybe, I don't know, maybe we come close to the equal highs and don't sweep them and then dump. Maybe we get the equal highs, but I think probably this high is coming here. This is that hourly, this black line you see here is the hourly sell side that we're retesting right now. So we're trading into a 3-minute IFEG right now. Because Pepe, there's no setup. Right? We're rejecting from a 3-minute fair value gap right now. We haven't closed above this. Do we have a 5-minute? No. So I could be wrong. Again, guys, it's all speculation. But I'm just guessing based on this PA and based on the fact that a lot of people are short that we're going to come back up to stop them out. But just because I believe that doesn't mean I'm just going to enter randomly, right? We have a 3-minute fair value gap here that we could use to reject and go lower, right? So this could just be the top, and then we just keep dumping from here, right? But I don't know that. So I'm not just going to enter just clicking buttons because I believe something's going to happen. Hope that makes sense, guys. Yeah. So also, guys, if this 3-minute ends up closing above, like right here, and the 1-minute closes above at the same time, I'll enter this long. And the reason being is because the next 1-minute gap, next 1-minute fair value gap is right here. So what I will do, let's say we close above right here and the 3-minute, I'll move my stop to break even as soon as this 1-minute fair value gap hits. With the chance it'll probably be a free trade up to this 1-minute, and then we can look for this high. If it closes below, would you go short? No, I would not, Robert, because this is not an IFEG to the downside. It's an IFEG to the upside. I would need to see a leg of price happen where a liquidity sweep occurs, like up here or these perfect equal highs, and then an IFEG setup needs to form in this bullish leg of price. Yeah, no worries, Robert. So yeah, guys. So bullish IFEGs form in the down leg. So like this is a bearish IFEG that becomes a bullish IF. This is a bearish fair value gap that becomes a bullish IFEG. And then the opposite. A bearish IFEG forms when a bullish fair value gap forms on this leg of price. And if we close below it, like this is technically an IFEG, but there's no liquidity sweep, so I'm not going to take this personally. But this could easily work down to this point too. But not A+ enough for me. So you guys see how we're rejecting from a 3-minute fair value gap and we're closing below this 1-minute? Whoops. This is a bearish IFEG. Right? It's a bullish fair value gap. When we close below it, it becomes a bearish IFEG, and this technically could be used to target this low and this low, but there's not enough liquidity being swept. We have equal highs above us. I personally would not take this. Even though I think it's probably going to work. But again, do I care that it's probably going to work? No, I want the A+ setup. So pay attention to how we react in the IFEG. Let's say we test it, wick into it, and then start closing lower. That increases the odds that this is going to take us down to here. But not for me. Personally, it's not an A+ setup. So you see how we're wicking into the IFEG right now? That's a good signal to me. If we get another candle that closes red below this low, I think the odds of this delivering us down increase a lot. Now again, does that mean it's A+? Personally, no. If you guys want to chase price, you do whatever you want with your accounts. Again, I'm trying to teach discipline here. Though this will probably work if we get a red down close candle below this wick, doesn't mean I'm going to take it to the downside. Because we have equal highs above, we have an internal high. I'd much rather wait for a long setup to take this out and then get a short setup afterwards. Guys, also, there's looks like 14 people in here. Make sure you like the stream if you haven't done it yet. It helps other people see it. So let's see if we end up closing above this. Yeah, so look at this, guys. We're closing below, then above. This, to me, is not good PA, and it tells me we're probably going to go up here. The 3-minute closes in how long? In 2 minutes. I think this high is probably coming next, if I had to guess. Where's that little 5-minute FVG? Still haven't touched that little 5-minute up there. But do you guys see how... So I told you guys I would possibly enter this 3-minute IFEG, but now we've wicked into the second one, and we've wicked into all of these 1 minutes. So personally, I can't take this anymore to the upside until we get this. Until the 1 minute closes above here, I can't really take this long. The other issue is, guys, if we get the IFEG here, I think this high is coming, but you have to be cautious because we are in this new week opening gap. That's the only thing right now that's giving me a little bit of hesitation on this. I know there's so many lines on my charts too. I'm trying to make this as simple as possible. LS trades. No, normally not. I don't really like to trade Power Hour personally. I think it was a guru's time of the market where a lot of people traded during COVID, but it's a really bad time to trade in my opinion. I think the market is ultra manipulated during Power Hour, so I personally don't trade it. So there is an IFEG here. Technically, we're delivering from a 1 minute for value gap. Could you try this? If you want. I don't think it's A+, but we are rejecting from a new week opening gap. We have equal highs above us, so I can't really take this, but this is a tough day for sure. Tough spot to be in. Very tough spot. So technically, guys, this is an IFEG setup again, but is there a liquidity sweep? No. We are trading from a 1 minute for value gap, which is decent, and we are rejecting a new week opening gap, but I prefer to see liquidity get swept before I look for a short setup. And right now, there's no liquidity being swept, right? We're leaving this high. If today's ultra bearish, then this is going to work, obviously. Like right now, you could try a 1-to-1 down, stop to break even at this low, but it's not for me personally. I mean, in general, guys, if we keep making lower highs and lower lows like this, the odds are high that we're going to come down here. But again, like just because I believe we're coming down here doesn't mean I'm just going to take anything random. I always tell you guys that, but excuse me. Like if we get these sweeps, then I think there'll be a good short setup. But until then, like even if the market's super bearish, yes, that can deliver us down, but it's all about taking the quality stuff, not just FOMOing. I don't know how else to describe that to you guys. Just remember, the majority of the time the market runs on liquidity. There are rare scenarios where the market is so bullish or so bearish that it doesn't need to sweep liquidity. But for the most part, the objective of the market is to FOMO people into shorts. They inverse the market or reverse it to the upside, stop out shorts at internal highs, and then they bring the market lower. So just remember that. If you guys are entering a trade, before you click the button, think to yourself, where can I potentially get stopped out here? Where am I going to be like, oh my God, I need to stop my position out because this could go higher? And for most people, it's this high right here, and then probably this high right here, and then these equal highs. So again, I told you, there are rare scenarios if we're super bearish that we won't even hit these highs and just go down. Like in this case, that might be it. Am I sad that that's happening? Kind of, but am I going to allow that FOMO to get to me and make me click a button because I feel like I missed out? No. That is where most traders lose money. And if that's the one thing I can teach you guys, is that if you feel like right now, I do have FOMO, I'm not going to lie. But just because I have FOMO doesn't mean I'm going to give in to those cravings or those feelings and click a button randomly, completely throw my edge out the window, and just go on tilt. It doesn't make any sense to do that. Trust me, guys, there are every single day in the market, great opportunities present themselves, and maybe it will be today. Maybe we do end up getting this sweep of liquidity and then we go down. But we'll see. So there's now a bearish fair value gap here. In theory, we should use this to go down. If we end up inversing it, we'll probably go up to this high. We'll see. So I'm just labeling this 15-minute low because I think this is probably going to come too. I wish there was something better. Wish there was something better. I would say probably about 70 to 80% of the time in the markets, guys, there's something that looks great, but ends up being a bad trade. Only about 20% of the time, 10 to 20%, is there something that's really A+ that I would want to risk real money for. Now, I could click buttons like paper trading here and just entertain you if you want, but again, that's not my objective. My objective is to train you to click the button only when it's optimal. And so I don't think it's not going to give an advantage to you. It might entertain you, but it's not going to be advantageous to your profitability. Just check something here on the 1 minute. So they're both making higher highs here. But technically, if both of these close above, I don't think this is a half bad long up to these highs here. So we are rejecting from this 1 minute pretty strongly, right? Look at that wick. Again, guys, I do think these are common, but there's no setup for me to take it. So it's unfortunate. They made this very difficult today. Right at market open, they dumped the market and they gave 0 setups in here. Technically, this is an IFEG to the downside, right? But we closed all the way down here, sweeping this low. It's not A+. We have equal highs and buy side above us. So I can't take this. So, does everybody understand why my logic is bearish right now? Do you guys understand how this huge red candle on the hourly is now changing the state of delivery in the market? We're now going from making higher highs to all of a sudden now we're breaking below an internal, now it's a low, but it was used to make a higher high. We're displacing below it, and to me, this signals that this low, this low, this low, and this low are hitting, combining with the 0.2 to 0.3 retracement. All of that to me signals bearish here. I hope that makes sense. With an SMT right above that daily fair value gap that we're now rejecting. Okay, hope that makes sense. Charlie, I got you. I appreciate it. I'm glad that that makes sense to you. Hopefully it makes sense to most of you guys. But again, just because I see the change in the state of delivery, does that just give me the signal just to enter blindly long? No. What about the other huge candle in the bottom left? Which other huge candle? This one right here? This is not at all-time highs. There's no SMT, and this was a CPI candle. So it's a little bit different. This actually, if you guys remember, I targeted a long and we took it up to the new week opening gap here. I even remember this day. But this is different, right? Because, I mean, we still are making higher highs, but we're not at all-time highs. Like, we're not in the high of the range, and it was CPI, and we swept liquidity to the downside. There's nothing really obvious that I'm targeting. So it just depends on the day, guys. But this, to me, is a change in the state of delivery, and you'll kind of realize that as you get more experience in the market. But those two were very different, in my opinion. Different areas in the market, different leg of price. So we are using this 1 minute to dump here. It's really annoying that we didn't get a setup, but at the end of the day, guys, you have to be patient. And again, I'm still human. I still get FOMO. I'm not some market god like some of these dudes claim that they don't get emotions in the market. I'm telling you guys right now, been trading for a long time, you always get emotions. It always happens. But the difference between a profitable and a non-profitable trader is some people react on those emotions and others do not. The one to the left of that one, this one right here. So there was a change in the state of delivery, and it actually ended up delivering us down lower. But I'm not going to predict that we're going to go all the way down to like this low, for example. But also different. We're rejecting from a new week opening gap. we swept this buy side already, so I mean that's fine. It signified that we were going lower, but also just a different structure to what I'm seeing. Like, we're in a big range here, and here we're rejecting from heavy premium of this whole leg of price. This is different. Like, we're all the way up here versus here we were in the middle of this range, actually closer to the bottom generally. So tougher spot for sure. This to me is much higher likelihood of going down than those ones. Tristan, trading, make my PP. What the hell, Tristan, bro? Bro, some of you guys just pop in here and you just say the tweakiest shit. Oh my god, bro. There's no setup, guys, but I think that these equal lows are coming. I think the 25%'s coming. I think the 30%'s coming. The data lows are coming. But there ain't nothing I can do about it. Man, that is so frustrating. Did anybody take a short today? Did anyone take this IFEG right here? Again, was this A+? No. I told you guys about this on stream, right? When this closed below, but we already closed below this low. Not A+ in my view. I still think this is probably going to go lower, right? The data low is all the way down here at 22,077. I think this is coming today. So in theory, guys, because we're bearish, all these fair value gaps should be used to go lower. Right? So if you guys are a 2022 model trader, I'm not. This is what I think is probably going to happen now. But is that my model? No. Am I going to take a trade here? No. I need to see liquidity get swept first before looking for a long, looking for a short. And again, guys, your model might be different to me. The 2022 model, guys, go on ICT's YouTube and go to the 2022 model playlist. But this is technically a 2022 model that we're experiencing right now on the hourly time frame or the 15-minute. Just in this case, we didn't get a retracement into the fair value gap, but like when there's a change in the state of delivery, we re-deliver into the fair value gap and then we go lower. And then every single fair value gap that's bearish gets used as resistance to continue lower, like in this case. So like in theory, if this is the start of a larger downside move, we should come back, trade into this hourly fair value gap right here to then go lower. But it might just deliver us without doing that, so we'll see. So like what could happen now, if we end up getting an inverse of this 1 minute fair value gap, I'll take this long. Stop to break even at this high and I'll hold it all the way up to the equal highs. Maybe take a partial here. And then that'll be the 2022 model to retrace into here where we ultimately get a short later in the day. I think that'll be good. Oops. Does that make sense? Pepe it up. The 2022 model. It's like a change in the state of delivery from making higher highs and lower highs, higher highs and higher lows, to then a drop below a higher low, and then a retrace into the fair value gap, and then continuing downwards. Yeah. So that's ICT's 2022 model. And also Pepe it up, we can talk more about it in the Discord. I'm just trying to trade right now, you know, and it's tough to explain like models while we're trading. But in general, you know, I mean, I'll show it to you guys later. But you're making higher highs and higher lows, and then you get a change in state of delivery, trade back into the fair value gap, shorting the market to go down, which is what I think is probably happening here on the higher time frames, right? Higher highs and higher lows, change in the state of delivery, redelivery into the hourly. So I'm thinking this hourly is going to get touched into this one right here, and then maybe a dump down after that. So if we do get a push back up here, then we'll look for a short somewhere in this golden pocket retracement area. We'll see. Sure was enough of a trailer to get me to want to know more, so I'll watch the ICT YouTube channel. Yeah, it's a lot of content, guys, but ICT is a fantastic teacher. I love his YouTube playlists. The 2022 playlist is about 48 hours of content, so be prepared to to sit down with some refreshments, popcorn and drinks, bro. But it's definitely worth it in my opinion. There's a lot of rambling. In fact, maybe I'll cover the 2020. I think I cover the 2022 model generally in my the free course on YouTube, so you guys can watch that if you want. Again, I don't charge for any courses, but I'm just saying it's a pretty decent. I'm trying to like explain stuff without the fluff, so. Yeah, Tristan, you can yap. It's just like, basically what I'm trying to do, there's a lot of people who don't have the time or the patience to really sit down for those things. Ooh, another set of perfect equal highs here. Are they perfect? No, they got swept by a tick. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate that, bro. Yeah, so if you guys are like new to ICT or even new to the markets in general, if you're new to the markets in general, I would recommend watching video 1. If you're not new to the markets, you don't need to watch video 1. If you know what the stock market is, if you know what the futures market is, you don't need to worry about that. Video number 2 and video number 3, which is coming out this Wednesday or this Thursday, I have to check. That covers inverse fair value gaps, liquidity. That I recommend you start watching. It's basically covering the whole concept behind ICT without all the rambling. It's 15 minutes instead of 48 hours. So, and I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible. Now, again, it's not perfect, right? There are exceptions to every rule, and you guys will learn that if you trade live with me. You'll see what my thought processes are. But generally, guys, the market moves from sell-side liquidity, like the sweep of the hourly, right over here, or whatever this was, this liquidity right here. And then it likes to move back to buy-side liquidity, so wherever people's shorts are in the market, which currently are sitting at this high, and this high, and then it will dump back to sell-side liquidity. So that's the idea behind it. And yeah. And then you use fair value gaps and inverses to get entries for your trades. That's the idea behind the markets. In a very basic sense. Pepe, if this video is out, you can make a 1-minute short and post it while linking your video, which will boost your channel. I have no idea how to do that, Pepe. How do I link a video while linking to your video? I'm down to learn more about the algos, guys. I'm clueless when it comes to YouTube and stuff. I want to boost the algorithm so people can see content more easily, but if I make a short, like saying, if you guys want to skip the BS and the fluff and you want to learn ICT in a nutshell, watch this video and then like post a link in the comments. Is that what you're saying, Pepe? Okay, so if this 1-minute inverse is the upside, guys, I think this is a decent short, decent long. Stop to break even at this high or this high, whichever you prefer. I'm probably gonna move it at this high, and then I would take it all the way up to this buy side and maybe the equal highs. Now you can add a link to your long form video above your description. Really? You can add a link to your long form video above your description in YouTube Shorts? I'll have to look that up. I'll look it up on YouTube to see how to find out how to do it. But I appreciate that, bro. Oh, supports people that make a short form and a long form channel. Should I do that? Should I make a short form and a long form? All right, so we're pushing into this 1 minute, guys. I think this is a decent long if we get the close above. I would personally, I mean, honestly, I would wait for the 3 minute as well. That closes at 10:39, so we got a minute. We'll see if we end up getting the close above here. Nope. No close above, guys, so that sucks. Probably have to wait for another 3 minute candle. Okay, so you guys can see, guys, the 3 minute bearish fair value gap, I'm going to delete the 1 minute, is holding here. So technically this is not a long setup yet. If we can get a 3 minute close above and a 1 minute close above the fair value gap right here, this will be a good long in my opinion. There's nothing on the 5. 4 minute has closed above already. That's interesting. But if this 3 minute gets closed above and the 1 minute at the same time, I'm gonna take a long, targeting this high and hopefully the equal highs if we can get it. But this 3 minute candle closes at 42, so we got 2 minutes left on this. But I have a feeling that this whole area of low resistance liquidity is going to be left, and they're going to have a down move, so we'll see what we get. But I want to see this data low get hit today. By the way, guys, I'm picking up a new car today. Ugh. I've really wanted a Tesla for a while. We have one, but I want to get the new one. So I'm debating. Either I can pick up a Model 3 today. I want to get like a blacked out one with black seats and maybe tint the windows and get some. I love blacked out Teslas, so I could get the Model 3, or I could wait for the new Model Y. What would you guys do? If you wanted to pick up a Tesla, would you wait for the new Model Y with the light bar and the improved suspension, black it out, or would you get the new Model 3 with the really sick front that's like super sharp and black that out? Thank you, Greg. I appreciate it, bro. Model Y has more headroom, too. Yo, what's up, Binoge? Get the cheapest one. That's the thing, guys. No matter how much money I make, I always love a deal. Like, always. I've said this before, but my real estate career has trained me to, like, always want a deal. And when I pick up a brand new car, I know it depreciates like 30 to 50% the minute it walks off the lot. So I just don't really like to spend a bunch of money. I'd rather, like, I would love to get a Cybertruck, but if I get one, I'll probably buy it off of somebody else. I'd wait for a repo. What do you mean, Charlie? I wouldn't pick up a Tesla, not with how these taxi drivers drive her is South Africa. Hell no, wouldn't last one day. Are you in South Africa, Ellis Trades? I think, who else is in South Africa? There's somebody else who's from Pretoria. I forget his name, though. Or, I don't forget his name, but right now I'm forgetting his name. Excuse me. Yeah. I love a deal, but also I know with cars, like, I'm not really getting a deal. They always depreciate. Okay, so there is a 3-minute OB forming here, guys. If this ends up closing at 45 above the 3-minute, I think this will be a good long setup. See how it ends up closing here. And of course, we want to see the 1-minute close above now as well. I'm going to move the fair value gap up. And then I would have my stop to break even at this high. Car delinquencies are at an all-time high rate for the bargain. Not a bad idea, Charlie. Oh, that's what you say, like a repossession, like a repo. I got you. Yeah, maybe I'll wait for the repo. Somebody who wants to buy a Model Y and can't afford it. They're actually more expensive than you might think. The Model Y, it's like the best-selling Tesla car, but if you put down $3,000 on a brand new Model Y, you're looking at a $699, I believe, almost a $700 a month payment. Cars are not cheap these days. Like, no matter how much money I make, guys, I will always have a frugal mindset. Always. Because I love a deal. But the Model Y ends up booking you. It's not cheap. My sister just picked up, I don't know if you guys know what they are, but it's called a Grenadier. It's by a company called Ineos. By the way, guys, I'm waiting for this 1-minute to close above and the 3-minute. Okay, so no close above on the 3-minute, guys. There is an order block here on the 3-minute, right? The set of down close candles. If we close above it, then that's even more confluence that we're going to go higher here. So I'm waiting to see a 3-minute close above the fair value gap, which never happened. But I don't know if you guys have heard of the Grenadier Ineos. It's like a huge car. It looks like a G-Wagon. Assault type vehicle would not have any traffic ever again. Yeah, because you could bulldoze all the cars out the way. But this Ineos Grenadier, it's like a $90,000 car. They're paying $1,200 a month for this thing, bro. Like, ridiculous. I mean, maybe if I end up getting a Lambo, I'll spend $1,200 a month. But that's the only thing. If I ever end up getting like a like what is it called? The Roadster. It's like a $500,000 or a $200,000 car or whatever it is. That's the only thing I would justify spending that money on. Oh, this looks like it's just gonna dump, guys. No entries anywhere. Unfortunately. But I think these equal lows and data lows are coming now. I think this is one of those days where they're gonna leave all this LRLR, these equal highs, and they're gonna sweep them another day. But yeah, so this Grenadier that they bought, it already, like the second week they bought it, it had, what is it called? Brake issues. And now the buttons on the doors, they're already jammed because there's not enough oil or whatever, DW40 in them. For such an expensive car, you'd think that it would operate efficiently, but nope. Oh my gosh, another day without an A+ setup. They're really making these days hard, guys. There is nothing in here to take, in my opinion. Nothing. Zero, zilch, nada. Exactly, bro. It's crazy. I remember a few years ago, bro, you could lease a Range Rover for like $750 a month. A Range Rover. Now a freaking Tesla Model Y $700 a month. Inflation. When I say a few years ago, I'm talking about like 10 years ago, but still. I don't know about you guys, but I always like I don't care if I'm making $1 million a month. I still will always see $1,000 a month for a car lease as wild. Bro, my parents, when they bought their house, they also have a house in Los Angeles. When they bought their house, and I think their mortgage was $1,500 a month. The house is probably worth $1.5 million, I'm guessing at this point, that they live in. And their mortgage, until they paid it off, was $1,700 a month. So you're telling me that their Grenadier is worth the payments on this house, on their house, is wild. Okay, so there's 2 sets of 1-minute IVGs here. If this closes above, guys, I don't think this is a half bad long either. Maybe we get a retracement up, sweep some buy side, and then get the short later down to these equal lows. I'd love to see that. Yeah, I mean, listen. Inflation, markets, everything changes. Joe Biden and the Fed printing all the money in the world during the great sickness of the last 5 years. Oh my god. Can we get a setup, please? Let's see if there's an SMT with ES yet. Still making higher lows. So you guys can see all this LRLR forming here with the equal highs. I do think this is a decent setup long. However, based on today, I would not be surprised if they leave these and they just dump the market to the equal lows, but we'll see what we get. Yeah. I'm at a crazy... the amount of money I made during the first few years of COVID was wild. I don't know if you guys remember, but real estate prices like dropped really quick. And that was when I was like I wouldn't say that early, but pretty early into the real estate flipping industry. And we were picking up houses for cheap. And then like between the next 2 years, let's say like I bought a flip for 700,000 or whatever it was. By the end of our flip, 6 to 8 months later, the house ended up appreciating like 50 to 70,000 more than it initially was worth. So let's say we bought it for 7, expecting to sell it for $1 million. That's what you generally want to get, like a 30% discount. Whoa, my camera's tweaking. So if you bought it for 7, expecting to sell it for $1 million, the house by the time you were done with the flip was worth $1.1 million, or like $1.07 million or something. So the appreciation in Los Angeles was wild. So you were basically getting like an extra cushion. Anything you bought ended up appreciating massively. So those were the days, bro. Those were the days. Okay, so if this ends up inversing to the upside, guys, I think this is a pretty good long. We gotta wait another minute, though. I don't want to see this high get swept yet. So because this high already got swept, guys, I can't take this long unless this 1 minute inverses now. Because what they could be doing here is inducing traders to the upside, and they'll reject it from this 1 minute gap. So if this ends up closing above, I think this is a pretty good long stop to break even at this high. Because you can see we're going from making lower highs to now making a higher high. This is a change in the state of delivery on the 1 minute. So we'll see. But if they end up sweeping this high, guys, before the fair value gap gets inversed, I'm not taking it. Okay, if you guys want to enter here, you're welcome to. I think this is probably going to retrace first. So if we end up sweeping this low, I'll enter with 1 NQ. Otherwise, I'm just going to let it run without me. Personally, up to you guys. But that's just how I see it right now. Because I want to reduce my risk. The stop here is really big. So I don't want to get smoked. You guys see how the stop here, I mean, you can decide which one you want to stop out on, but technically, your stop should be a 1 minute close back below this IFEG, so. Okay, so there's the high, guys. Unfortunately, I didn't get an entry, but for those of you who did, congratulations. But I think that we're probably going to head higher here. If you're in this long, I would have my stop to break even already. If this pushes down and stops you out, that's fine. But I don't know, I have a bad feeling about this. So, did we just sweep that internal high? So we just swept this internal high by 1 tick. I think if this ends up inversing to the downside, that's not a half bad short. But not A plus. Also, guys, be super careful if you're looking for longs after a big bullish set of candles today because Trump is speaking. That's another reason why I'm very cautious today, because you know when Trump speaks on these days, there's just random collapses in the market. So you have to be super careful. Just not clicking buttons on just a straight green leg of price. To me, it's kind of like a red flag. Pepe, isn't it an WXY structure? I I don't use any of that, Pepe. So if you guys were long from the entry here, you would have gotten stopped out on this leg, right? So this is a stop out to break even. Again, guys, I like the idea of longs, but I also know that these equal lows and the data lows are probably going to hit. So I'm being super careful. I've heard of it, Tristan. I think these like wave, maybe it's Elliott wave. I don't know. But I don't use any of those pattern structures, this, that, yada, yada. But again, guys, all that I really use is Fibonacci's and fair value gaps. That's it. I miss. That is why your biceps are huge. I appreciate that, Tristan. I don't really bench. I don't bench. I don't squat. I don't bench. I just do tricep pull downs. It's actually my triceps, I think, that are bigger than my biceps, but I'm not even that big, guys. I'm 5'11" or 6 foot. I like to say 6 foot. And I'm 175 or 180 pounds. I like fluctuate. Got the good muscle insertions though. Oh, but all that I do, bicep curls, tricep pull downs, a lot of dumbbell presses, shoulder presses. I think my shoulders are my strong suit. I won't show you those bad boys though. I might blind you in the camera. Creatine, you know the drill. Thanks, bro. I appreciate that. But I'm genuinely dudes that are 6 foot, 200 plus pounds and lean. I mean, that obviously they're mostly on roids, but still. God damn, guys. I wish there was something better. I mean, technically this was good, okay? But I wanted to wait for a little retracement. We didn't get it. And then if you would have entered on this leg of price, you would have gotten stopped out for break even here. So... we're retesting that hourly low again. Again, guys, I wish I could entertain you with a good trade here. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. I wish I could entertain you with a good setup. This, in my opinion, was pretty decent, okay? Would I give this a A+ setup? No, because we have liquidity down here that I want to get swept. But you can see that it did work. At minimum to this high was a free trade, stopped at break even. So, am I missing out on anything crazy? Am I missing out on anything crazy? Probably not. But if this liquidity and this liquidity get swept, guys, I'm going to look for shorts. For now, we're just testing this woman at IFEG to the downside. But nothing, in my view, is A+ here. There is a tiny 1 minute fair value gap that if we close above, this high should come to, which we haven't closed above yet. Who here has also not clicked the button once today? And be honest. If the market... Hold on, let me see something here. If the market travels further to the top... the last IFEG would be a breakaway gap, right? Which gap? This gap right here? This is not a breakaway gap. We traded into it once. Do you guys see that? That's not a breakaway gap. A breakaway gap is a gap that doesn't get traded into at all. Nice. Benoj didn't take a trade. Pepe didn't take a trade. Charlie didn't take a trade. Beautiful. Again, guys, if your model gives you something A+, by all means. And like I said, technically this is good, but I'm a little hesitant, especially because Trump is speaking and we have liquidity resting below. I'm currently intraday bearish, so I'm very hesitant to be taking longs here. Very hesitant. I'm pulling trigger only on high time frame setups. Nice, Benoj. So on the high time frame, technically, guys, we should, in theory, come back to this high right here. Okay. The reason being is because we have this hourly fair value gap right here that we have not traded into. And if we're going to take a 2022 model, then this should get traded into to go lower. But I don't know what's going to happen here. Swept 4-hour liquidity into a 4-hour Abyssi. Ooh, we did. We did. I didn't even see that. But personally, I think these data lows are coming still. I think this is probably going to get disrespected, but I could be wrong. But again, guys, only if something A+ comes am I going to be taking anything. Especially on a no red news day with Trump speaking, you got to be super careful. But Tristan, that's a good point. Yeah, this is a tough spot to be in the markets, guys. You know when there's a time when I am a lot more inclined to take trades, and this right here is not one of those times. And it just happens to be that we're also in a market event, which is Trump speaking with no red folder news, that happens to align with the bad. I wouldn't say this is bad price action, but it's not great. Thanks, Pepe it up. Do 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 do. So if this 1 minute inverses, guys, I think this high is coming next. What do you guys think? Should we take this with 1 NQ with a 1-to-1? Like this? Should we scalp it? It's not even a 1-to-1. This is a 1-to-1. Pepe wouldn't take that. Smart man. Good, guys. Somebody answered. I wasn't really asking that, I guess, but I should have been. Is this a good trade? If this 1 minute closes above. Is it probably going to work? Yes. Is it a smart trade? In my opinion, absolutely not. Yeah. 30 seconds left till the close. I'm gonna guess that they just deliver this without giving people an entry, but we'll see. Do I think it's smart? No. Okay, so let's see if it ends up working. I wish there was a better trade to take. But technically, guys, there is a internal high here that should be swept, right? Everyone who's short the market right now has their stop above this high. So do I think it's going to get swept? Probably. Is it A+? No. No, 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 no. See, sometimes I wish, like... I think what happens with some of these profitable traders is they lose sight of what is important in their channel, and they want to entertain people, so they end up clicking the button more than they should. I think that's probably what happens with a lot of traders. So if I end up losing followers because I'm not clicking a button during the day, I mean, by all means, that's fine. But at the end of the day, guys, I hope that I'm teaching you guys something with this. That this is what real trading looks like. I know it's not pretty. Sometimes you're sitting at the charts for God knows how long, and you decide that it's not worth it for you to click the button. I don't need to make money. I don't have the urge to make money. Of course, money is great, but I feel so much better if I follow a model and a trading plan. And there was a setup today, okay? This technically was a setup, okay? And I called it out on the stream. I said this is probably going to work, but I wanted to see a retracement below this low. We never got it until here, but by that point, this high was swept, so I didn't take it. Pepe, well, you made more than 500 subs since I stumbled. Most of those, Pepe, are probably from the YouTube Shorts, but I'm going to guess that most people that watch my live stream end up swiping away because I basically don't take trades as much as they would want. That's what my guess is. But again, I don't need this. I don't need to make money off of this. I'm here to educate. Money is a byproduct of good habits, in my opinion. And I think that if you are patient enough, especially with day trading, the market will reward you. But for those of you who are not patient and you want to be entertained, or do you want to click buttons because you feel like you need to make money, you will be the ones that end up losing over time. Okay, so there's the internal high. You can see that the 1-to-1 did end up working. Did I take it? No. But I still think that it's probably going to work. And probably up to this high as well. So if this woman inverses to the upside, this high is most likely coming. Then maybe the equal highs. But we shall see. If, guys, this is the setup I'm taking today. If the equal highs get swept, And we get an A plus IFEG from here. I'll look for a short. Wise man once said, wisdom comes from reflection of your experience. 100%. Okay, guys, I'll be right back. Hold on. Okay. So we... Huh, that's so interesting. MNQ missed this high, but NQ did not. How about ES? $57 candle. So there is an SMT right now with ES. ES took out its 957 high. Right here, NQ did not. But guys, I think we're going to get a short. I still do. Even though we touched the 20%, I think the 25 and the data low are coming. That's my feeling today. So pay attention to what happens if this 1 minute inverses. Again, this high is probably coming next. But we officially, guys, I will just give you a heads up. We did officially trade into the hourly for value gap. Right? If this is going to be the start of a 2022 model short, we'll probably trade a little bit higher into it, maybe to the equal highs, and then we'll dump. So that's my thesis right now. Yo, if Benoj is still in here, are you back in the game, Benoj? You said you're only taking high time frame setups now, right? Are you trading futures or are you trading options now? Because I remember you were in options last time, right, Benoj? SPX options? Okay. Yeah, you'll get a little bit of tax savings from that, right? SPX and futures both get that long-term capital gains tax savings. Yep. Do 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 do. Boring. So we got another macro time coming up at 11:50. I'll probably stay on until the 12:10 macro, and then I'll be done. But we'll see. Maybe we'll get a setup before then. Do 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 do. Do. Okay, decent rejection so far from that internal high. Again, guys, is there an IFEG here? No. Are they going to end up just dumping the market here from the new week opening gap? Again, is there an IFEG here, guys? No. There is one here. Is there a 4 or 5 minute gap? No. Nothing looks good. Nothing looks good to me. Correct. Yep. Always, guys, the day after a bank holiday, Binoche is very right. For those of you guys who don't know, I actually said that in the economic calendar in the Discord, but the day after a bank holiday is normally really bad price action. I normally only trade on evals. Potentially funded, but normally not. Normally just eval and paper. Oh my god. I just read something super funny on X, but I can't share it on the stream. Yeah, but great point, Binoche. Yeah. So there is this 3-minute fair value gap that we are delivering from, right? Could this be bullish? Yes, but if this closes below, I think this is not a bad short, to be honest. I really don't. It's the last bearish PD area in the market. There is a 2-minute here. But yeah, for those of you guys who are new to trading in general, and like Binoche pointed out, today is the day after a bank holiday, right? Yesterday was President's Day. The market normally acts erratically. We also have Trump speaking. Is this a good day to trade? For most people, no. And you can see that the price action is not great. It's not giving us A+ setups. And yeah. Binoche is looking for a hold of 60.80 here. Interesting. So right now we are delivering out of a 1 and a 3-minute, and there is a decent looking woman at inverse. What do you guys think? Should we try this woman at inverse? Stop to break even at this high? On paper? I'm also looking at the 30-second chart to see if the 30-second closes above.
More sellers now and have been pushing these markets lower at this zone, and typically around this zone you see a lot more, you know, price action, consolidation, maybe a little bit more volatility. And look, see how much time the market spends there. Sometimes like there's a lot of price action happening around, you know, this 22,200, and
Look at that, guys.
yeah,
No
you can see it, nice
above.
little double top, and we sold off. I'm still looking to buy this market. I
he's
still
looking to
believe
buy.
that the market sentiment changed down here. So if we do pull back and show more consolidation, more support, I would now be okay with looking for a long to break through this, because now we have a good area of reference, this zone. And if we can find momentum to break through this zone, that is where we'll see a bit of a short squeeze for everyone who's short down here. We'll need to be closing it out or be looking to close it out if we break through and the buyers take control out of this zone, and it would be a breakout trade, right? That would be playing for a breakout trade.
All right, so once the market gets up here, guys, this is where we're going to full port short right here, okay? Right here.
Maybe these 250s, kind of where we consolidated a little bit.
I need a full port short from everybody once they take the breakout trade, okay? Everybody got that?
Inside of 4 minutes, yeah. London close. And I do got a hot biscuit here real quick. Ukraine President Zelensky postponed visit to Saudi Arabia in order to not give legitimacy to the U.S.-Russian meeting in Riyadh. That's coming.
All right, I'm done with that. So this is technically a break. I mean, this is not a breakout yet. The breakout will come above this high. We got a minute left until this 1 minute fair value gap closes above. I don't think this is a bad short scalp, a long scalp up to here and here. If you guys want to try something, but I'm not taking it. Again, guys, I'm looking for shorts. I want the breakout traders to take it a long up here or something like that, and then we'll look for an IFEG down to these lows. I want this. I want the 0.25 and the data lows eventually. Wow, this looks so good to the upside. But again, guys, I can't take it personally. Okay, so there's technically a 1 minute close above here. So this is actually a long setup. For those of you who want to try it, stop to break even at this high. Am I taking this? Personally, not. But it doesn't look bad. Oops. Pepe, wouldn't that be the same setup from earlier? Which setup? This is technically a long, guys, right now. Just letting you know. I don't trust big green moves when Trump is talking and it's the day after a bank holiday, but you guys can choose what you want to do. Oh my god. Okay, guys, I'm gonna take this on paper. I'm gonna take this long on paper, just for fun. I think this high is coming. Stop to break even at this high, if we get it. Paper trade here, guys, not a real trade. I repeat, this is not a real trade. I just want to see if it ends up following through, just for fun. Just so we can click the button on the screen for y'all who are itching. I think this high is probably going to hit. And especially this 1 minute inverses, I think it's definitely going to hit. So we'll see. Oh, oppa. Let's see. So this 1 minute inverse technically would need to hold, right? If you were in this 1 minute IFEG long, your close would be a candle close below this 1 minute for value gap. 1 minute inverse for value gap. So I'm gonna move the stop lower, right? The only way I would cancel this out is if the 1 minute closes back below here. Yeah, Greg, pretty much. Once the breakout happens, this is where we would ideally want to look for some shorts. I have to drop. See you tomorrow. All right, Benosh, see you tomorrow, brother. Guys, if I take a real trade, I will tell you guys. This is, again, I told you when I clicked the button, this is a paper trade. No way I would take this in hell on a real account. And you can see here that this 1 minute is failing. This is why you don't take a trade on a bank holiday. This is why you do not take a trade on the day after a bank holiday, sorry. Do 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 do. Ba na 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 na. Look at this. Everybody who's trying to take these breakout trades or whatever it may be, bye-bye. Terrible days, guys. Terrible days to be trading. I hope nobody took that. I told you guys it was a paper trade before I took it, right? If you took that, you're the only one to blame. The viewer count definitely dropped after I took that, so I'm guessing some people did. Oh, my goodness. Is that a woman at IFEG to the downside? This is a woman at IFEG to the downside, but no obvious liquidity has gotten swept in my view. I want this high to get swept first. Because we already swept it with this candle, so I don't like this as much, even though it may work. And technically we did sweep below 2, so it's not bad, but not a plus in my view. Could it work to this low? Absolutely. But I don't like it personally. I still think the draw is probably higher before we go lower. This high and maybe this high, but we'll see. Yeah, I would probably give this a B. Or maybe a 6.5 out of 10. Especially on a day like today, I wouldn't be surprised if they bring it all the way back up to this high and then this high. Just stopping traders out. Morning of, sorry for the delay, not feeling good today. Oh, are you sick, Kay? Hey, bro, you guys, you don't need to be here. If you don't feel good, don't feel bad for not joining the stream. There's some stuff going around. I heard in Portugal there's a monkeypox going around. I'm just kidding, I didn't hear that. My goodness. Sometimes, guys, I look at this market and I'm like, damn, why am I sitting here live streaming? But I do it. Like, even now, I feel bad for clicking the button just now for paper trading. Even though I didn't lose money, I bet you somebody in here, now that I think about it, I bet you somebody in here took that and lost money because of it. I don't know why I did that, guys. I'm sorry. I should not have even done it. Right? What is the point of me clicking the button? Okay, so you guys can see here that IFEG technically is still holding to the downside that Pepe called out. So we'll see if this ends up delivering all the way down to sell side. I feel off today. 2 loss and 1 win. I think 1 win he meant to say, Greg. Yeah, today, guys, is not a good day to be trading. Another lesson that Benoj, I thought I even said this, but I didn't. The day after a bank holiday, okay? I said this in the Discord too. Let me pull it up. Tuesday, I never trade the day after a bank holiday. Eval and paper accounts, YouTube live stream, okay? President's Day was yesterday, okay, so we had no live stream. If you see in the economic calendar, bank holiday, guys, the day afterwards, never trade that day with real money. Sometimes I'll take a funded if it's so A+ I can't deny it, but never with a cash account. Eval and paper primarily on a day like today. Because of stuff like this. Thursday should be pretty good. We have unemployment claims at 8:30. So stay on. For those of you guys who are in the Discord, on Wednesday is going to be the most wild day. Okay, Wednesday, if you guys can see this, we have FOMC meeting minutes. This is going to move the markets. I'll be live streaming on YouTube in the morning, just to live stream for fun. And then the private live stream will be in the Discord at 2 o'clock Eastern, 11 Pacific. That will be big movement. Thursday will be PPI, so there'll probably be movement. I mean, Thursday's unemployment, so there'll probably be movement. And then Friday is PMI, sorry. So I will be private streaming that. I think that'll be a good move day too. So my main days for trading this week are going to be Wednesday and Friday. I may take a funded trade on Thursday on YouTube, but the private Discord streams on Wednesday and Friday are going to be the A+ days, in my opinion. If I had to guess. Where do you trade stocks, by the way? Like what brokerage? A few different ones. My Roth IRA accounts are through Fidelity. And then my trading accounts where I do all my swing trades and my option selling is through Charles Schwab. There's a lot of stock market YouTubers that are now talking about this new one called... what was it called? Something with a P. You guys know which one I'm talking about? But a lot of people are promoting it right now because they're getting paid by the company. What's it called? People. No, bro, not people. Damn, I forgot the name of it. If I think of it, I'll let you guys know. Oh, markets, can you give us an A+ setup, please? Plus 500? No, Warriors for Yeshua. Glocks out. Glocks out for the boys. Guys, if you don't know Warriors for Yeshua, he is, of all the people in my Discord, I think he is the most dedicated. I mean, I wouldn't say the most dedicated, but also Kay is really dedicated. One of the guys that is sick today. But Warriors for Yeshua 2 is very dedicated. He's like posting on the Discord at 3 a.m. about chart setups, which I love the excitement. I love the passion. I personally, after doing this for the amount of time I have, I can't stand looking at the charts. Honestly, I can't stand it. So for me, if I have time to get off the screen, I get off the screen. And I wait for a setup in the mornings, but he is always on it. Always looking for indicators and different setups, and he's always looking at the charts, which I think I commend him for that. And he's working his ass off. But you guys find, eventually, it's all about just taking one good one, and that's it. Poo-doo. Okay, guys, so we're about to get into this 1150 macro. I still have a feeling we're going to go up here. I still have a feeling that this 1 minute's going to inverse and they're going to take out this high and then go up to this high. That's what my guess is right now. Again, am I taking anything? No. Oh, I can find out what the name of that... Hold on one second. It's called... Public is the name of the brokerage a lot of YouTubers are promoting right now. They actually pay you for options trade. So if you're like, if you take options, if you sell options or buy naked calls and puts, that will give you, they'll pay you a portion of the income they get. Okay, I want to look at some of the top performers today. Intel pushing 8%. Whoo! So Nike, one of the things we added in our long-term accounts, is pushing like crazy now. Congrats to anyone who's in this. I think this is going all the way up here. So I still think this is a great spot to add for the long term. If you guys have not added Nike for your long-term positions, I think this company is going to go ballistic soon. I think this at minimum is trading to the weekly fair value gap. So I think $109 is coming for Nike, which from here gives you a 46% return. I also think we're probably going to go higher than that. I think this area is coming too. And from here, you're looking at almost 100% return, give or take, in this general area. So again, I alerted Nike in this between $70 and $73. So congrats to whoever is in this, but that's going to be great. Do want to see where Riot is. Give me a sec to look at crypto. Riot is down 4% on the day. This is also one, guys, I think is good to sell puts on. If you guys are looking for a high risk play, I think Riot's going to push heavily in the future when Bitcoin starts to push, especially if the Fed, I mean, if the government, if the president announces a Bitcoin Federal Reserve or a Bitcoin General Reserve. I don't know what they're going to label it, but that's going to be a good high risk, high reward play. And of course, I call all those out in the Discord too. We closed out some Riot calls for like 70% last week, and I think, or we closed out some sold puts for 70%. I think I'm going to sell another round of puts today, and I'll alert that in the Discord if I do. So if this 1 minute inverses to the upside, guys, I think it's gonna push. I think it's gonna push. And rejection. Guys, today the price action again is really behaving poorly. If nothing happens in this macro, I'm signing off and I will call anything I see in the Discord. Again, guys, I would personally only suggest today taking eval and paper trade accounts, paper trading. I don't know why I can't speak English today. But I would not suggest trading on funded or cash accounts today because it's the day after a bank holiday. For those of you guys who didn't know that, I'm sure you all do at this point. But yeah. Let's see if this ends up delivering us up here. Whoa, big push. I think this high is coming next. Gun to my head. Or maybe right before it, like right here. Wow, my hair looks nasty today. Okay, there's this high. Did we sweep it? Not yet. I still think this high is coming, and probably at minimum the mean threshold of this wick, which is right here. 22, 220 and 50 cents. By the way, guys, I do think this short looks good. I'll take this on an eval account if we get it. Let's say even if we don't sweep this high, if we reject from here and get a big down close candle, I'm going to try one short. One MNQ, one micro on an eval account. That's the only thing I'm going to take today. I think this looks pretty good. Well, I wouldn't say it's not the only thing I'm going to take. If this ends up getting swept, I'll take a short from up here, but this doesn't look half bad for a short right now. Okay, let's see if we get this, guys. Is there an SMT with ES? They both made lower highs. So do you guys see how this IFVG looks super clean? Even though I think this is probably going to push up here, if this ends up closing below, I think I like this short. Yeah, so now we got to sweep with this high. Again, I think this is probably going to go up here, but if we get this short, guys, I think this is good. I think this is really good. On an eval, it's the only thing I'm going to take today, probably. But we'll see what we get. So we're in the macro time now. So to me, guys, again, I'm not taking this on a funded account. I'm not taking this on a cash account. But this will be a legitimate trade on an eval. If this 1 minute inverses to the downside, my stop to break even will come at this low right here. And I will personally just try and hold this all the way down to the data lows, if I'm lucky enough to get it. Evan, yes. So I have eval accounts and I have funded accounts. An eval account, because for example, on Top Step, guys, I will be transparent with you. I am not funded on Top Step. This is a new prop firm for me. I am funded on Apex and My Funded Futures. But on I don't have any copy trade accounts, and I really want that. So with Top Step, if I can get a bunch of fundeds, then I can get use a copy trader because I'm on a Mac. So I have eval accounts and funded accounts. The reason I have evals is because I want more fundeds. And with Top Step, you can copy trade your funded accounts. So I'm looking to get funded accounts on Top Step. Make sense? And I like using eval accounts for days where you're not, where I don't use my cash accounts or my fundeds, because it still gives me like, kind of like that trading fix without actually paper trading. paper trading doesn't really do anything for you, right? So the 1 minute did just inverse to the upside, guys. So I think this high is coming next. And for those of you who are wondering, for cash accounts, what I use is TradeStation. That's my primary one. But I think Trade Evade is pretty good as well. They also give you the ability to have a max loss on the day, so I like that. And then, of course, Charles Schwab I used to trade on cash too. Evan, so you can take a trade on a higher amount of contracts across multiple accounts. I don't know what that question means, but like, for example, if I get 10 50K funded accounts on Top Step, I can copy trade all of them. And again, because I have a Mac, it's difficult to copy trade. I've never used a copy trader before. And with Apex, you can copy trade, but you need like a separate software, and it's kind of complicated. So I want to do it straight with Top Step. That's why I'm trying to get funded with them. What do you think about NinjaTrader? Have you ever tried it? No, I have not. But I've heard decent things about it. I don't think it's bad. My goodness. So guys, this is going to be probably my one trade of this session. If this ends up just dumping here, I'm going to take a short. It would be better if this liquidity got swept, but we'll see what we get. But if this ends up closing below, guys, I think this is going to be fantastic. Oh my goodness. What's Top Step saying?
Fives. And part of it was that time stop that we're kind of talking about. It's like we got this 1 minute range at top of range, and we're not getting the fast movement. Typically, if you want to see a breakout out of a range, you want to see it move really pretty quickly and not hesitate. Mm-hmm. So we just basically took 2 base hits. So plus 684, and it's basically a range trade, and we did not get the swift movement we wanted, so we time stopped it. That's kind of the logic behind that.
Okay, so he took a breakout and he was profitable and he stopped it out because he didn't
like markets right now. All right, Dakota, you are still in, I do believe, correct? How many do you have on?
Correct. Yep, I'm still long my 3 contracts.
Nice.
I'm looking at this as just a pullback. Still looking for continuation to the long side. Nothing has changed.
Has trade. All right, change indeed. All right, we're coming up on time here in Fast Markets. Shout out to Mr. Michael Batak for joining us today. MP, any final words before you get back?
All right, they're dipping, I think. So what kind of copy trading are you talking about? Copy trading is when you have a bunch of funded accounts and you can click the button on one account and it will copy the trade for a bunch of them. So if I have 10 50K fundeds, oh, this looks so good to the downside. If I have 10 50K fundeds, I can click the button on one. Let's say you make $100 for the day and you have 10 accounts, that's $1,000. Oh, this looks so good to short. Oh my god. Guys, you can't enter this until it closes below, right? And technically we have a 2 minute and a 3 minute, so it's a higher risk short, but I still think this will probably work to the downside. Targeting this low right here. Whoops. Again, I can't enter this yet because we did not get a close. Look at this, we wicked. but we'll see if it ends up working. So that's a very bullish wick right there, but we need to see it close below if this is going to end up going to the downside here. If they're just going to dump this, it's probably going to happen right now without giving people an entry. And they're going to blame it on Trump talking. So this is a lot higher risk, guys, because we have a 2 and a 3 minute, right? But I'm going to take this with probably 1 or 2 micros on a eval account, if that. Alright, so that's technically the entry there. I'm in this with 1 micro on an eval, and this is going to be my take profit. Stop loss will be a hard stop at this fair value gaps high right here. So I'll put it on the screen for you guys if you want. But I'm in with micros, okay? Not full size contracts here. But the take profit's going to be down here at this low. And if you're in this, guys, I would move my stop to break even if this low hits, personally. And again, this is a micro contract trade on an eval account, not a real account. Just because of the nature of the day. This is the only real trade I'm taking today, and it's tiny, guys. I don't care about taking it on a funded or a cash today. It doesn't make sense. It's the day after a bank holiday. Trump is speaking. Why risk real money on this? That's in my opinion, it's not a good idea. But I think it's a good trade nonetheless. Okay, so we swept this low, guys. I would personally move my stop to break even. That's just me. If I get stopped for break even on it, that's fine. So again, guys, my stop is at break even here. It's going to stop me out of the trade if we come back to this entry point. All right, there's the stop out, guys. So that was a free trade, break even. That is the nature of the days today. Okay. Could this continue down? Absolutely. Am I interested in getting stopped out for a loss? No. Be right back. All right. So you guys can see the entry they gave us for this 1 minute short was down here. Okay. All right, Pepe, I'll see you later, bro. Yeah, guys, I'm about to get off after this macro is done. The 2 minute did close below as well. So technically this is still valid on the 2 minute. And the 3-minute did close it below as well. So actually, this is a pretty decent trade, guys. I'm not going to lie. I think this is good to the downside still. Up to you where you want to put your stop. Personally, because of the nature of today, I would put a hard stop probably up here. But technically, right, the trade is a 3-minute, the stop loss is a 3-minute close back above the IFEG. I would not be surprised, guys, if this ends up delivering us down to this low. So we're trading into the bearish 3-minute fair value gap right here. I'd want to see this deliver us down. So if you guys are still in this trade, if this low gets swept, one of these two, I would definitely move your stop to break even. Because if this closes below, we should easily sweep down to this low right here. Should not stop after that. We're in a 1 micro trade short right now. Just kidding. We got stopped out. But if you are still in this short, then your stop should be to break even right now, in my opinion. Have you taken any trades today, Sean? So guys, if you are in this short, I definitely think your stop should be at break even now, because this low, if this gets swept, we should just deliver. We should not be stalling like this, in my view. Okay, that's beautiful delivery. I think this low is coming now. Let's see if I'm right. Took a setup. Short or long? Oh. Let's see if we get the sweep. Alright, so beautiful 3-minute inverse, guys. Oh, you took a long, I think. Sean doesn't know if it was a long or a short. So this is a pretty nice looking inverse. Again, guys, I took it on the 1. And it was a lot more risky because of the nature of today, and you can see that it did work. We ended up closing below the 2 and below the 3, and it is delivering to the downside. If you're in this short, guys, I would have my stop to break even. I would take a partial at this low, and I would hold the rest all the way down. Because if we're going to be bearish today, this might deliver us way lower than this. So definitely hold if you're still in this short. Again, because of the nature of today, guys, I only took it on eval. I took it with 1 micro. Okay, I don't care about making money on a day like today. It's not important. If the nature of the day is really bad, like when Trump is speaking with no red folder news the day after a bank holiday, it doesn't make sense to take it on the live account. So I hope you guys understand that. I hope you get why I didn't trade with anything of value to me. But tomorrow in the Discord, I will be trading with a live account, cash account, funded account, whatever you deem as valuable. I would suggest tomorrow and Friday, possibly even Thursday, be the days that you trade with those accounts. Otherwise, I would suggest you stay out. And that's just my opinion. You can do what you want with that information. So if you're in this 3-minute short, guys, again, I mean, if the market is bearish, we should not come back up to this internal high right here. This should be the high, the intraday high, the intermediate term high that holds, and we should go all the way down to sell side and then lower. Got you, Sean. Because right now, guys, if this ends up being bullish somehow, this 3-minute fair value gap is holding up price right now. So if we don't sweep this low, it's because we're delivering back into the 3 to rebalance price to go higher. So I would definitely have your stop to break even. If you're in the entry from here, from this green candle, somewhere in this red candle, move your stop to break even, because if we are bearish, the market should not come back up above this order block. We should cleanly deliver all the way down to sell side and then go lower as well. So again, guys, I think this low is coming. And I think, if I had to say gun to my head, I think this bullish for value gap on the 3 is not going to hold. In my opinion, I think it's going to dump. But basically, I'm paying a lot of attention to what happens at this low right here. Rack Ellis trades, what a day. Did you hold the short? Is it Rach? Rack? What is your name mean? Is Rach short for Rachel? So immediate bullish reaction after sweeping this low, guys. So if you're not out of your trade right now, you're gonna get stopped out, in my opinion. I think this is gonna go all the way back up here. If you don't get stopped out, you're gonna get really lucky. Okay, guys, so the macro is done. I took one trade today with an eval account, and that was it. Again, guys, I told you guys in the Discord earlier in the week, on Sunday, that I wasn't going to be trading today with a full-size account. And yeah, that's just the nature of the day. If I see anything A+, guys, I will alert it in the Discord. But again, I don't suspect that's going to happen today. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Let me just check the Discord just to make sure I know the timing. God damn it. Sorry, guys. My computer's tweaking. Let's go to the economic calendar. So I'm going to live stream in the morning on YouTube just for fun to see if we can see any liquidity that's going to be created for the PM session. But in the Discord, guys, I will be going live. That's the exclusive one, right? For those of you guys who are in the premium. At 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, 11 a.m. Pacific, there is going to be some crazy movement in the market during this the FOMC meeting minutes. So for those of you guys who don't know, there's the FOMC meeting. And then a few days after that, there's the FOMC minutes. And it's not as volatile as the FOMC meeting itself, but it ends up normally delivering price pretty nicely. So we'll see what setup we get. Until then, guys, I wish you the best. I'll see you tomorrow morning on YouTube, and then for the Discord, we'll have a real account trading day in my for my books. If an A+ setup happens, I'll take it on cash and funded accounts personally. But yeah, I wish you guys the best, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, all right? And for those of you who are in the Discord,